their future.
You can join in on the conversation by calling 1-800-534-8255. Again, that's 1-800-534-8255, toll-free courtesy of Flow, or join us on YouTube Live.
So in studio with us now is Aiden Watler and his mom, Miss Sandra Watler. So Aiden is one of our Proud of Them honorees who was acknowledged for his outstanding work in academics and culture. So we'll be diving into your time in the culture now. So as young Caymanians throughout primary school and high school, many of us participate in cultural activities related to the arts. I want to know, how did you get involved?
Well, that's a great question. And, first off, hi, Jesse. Hi, Ashley. Thank you guys for having me on. It's such a pleasure to be on the radio.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, I love being on the air. So, it's no stress at all. Let me know anytime. So in terms of getting involved in culture, I wish that there was like a keystone moment where I had like a revelation or something like this. But I'll be totally honest. I just saw an ad in the Compass, or more accurately, my mom did. And she said, there are auditions for Rundown. Are you interested? And I remember thinking at first, what would I have to contribute to Rundown? But, then I got thinking and I was like, it might be good to have a young cast member, and maybe there are original perspectives and ideas that I could contribute to this show. And so I went and did the audition, and the rest is history, as they say. I got the part, luckily, and, it really stretched me. I learned a lot, and it was a very fulfilling experience.
Yeah, and I've seen you at Rundown. Personally, I've went to attend the show, and it was so great watching you and having that youth perspective, being a part of it. And I think that's such a good light to see for younger children, so we can be like, oh, well, maybe I can get involved in something like that.
Yeah. And also on your Proud of Them article, I saw that you played the guitar and piano, right?
Oh, yes.
So did you pick that up one day, or how did that go?
Well, my dad is really the musician in the family, and so he's a pianist, and he was, from a young age, you have to be involved in music, and I was not musical. I just wasn't. I couldn't. They sent me to lessons, and it was a horrible experience for me. It was like pulling teeth to send me, and I gave it up. My dad was like, okay, fine, I guess he's not musical. And one day when I was 14, I was watching Back to the Future, and I was like, wow, the guitar is really cool. Maybe I should try it. And so my mom got me a guitar, and it started off very awfully, but I kept at it, and I'd like to say I'm pretty adept now, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. And you've had a lot of opportunities to uphold leadership positions, and you've just recently been recognized as one of the Proud of Them honorees. What does it mean for you to be an ambassador of the arts and the culture?
Yeah, so the Proud of Them award was such an honor because it really felt as though the work that I do for our culture and for our youth has been recognized, and I was being held up as an example. And so being an ambassador of arts and culture is, well, one, being involved with these things, understanding them, doing your part to give them to the youth. But more than that, it's about seeing how you fit into a bigger narrative, I guess. And so it's one thing to say, I want to be involved in this play, but it's another thing then to see how that play is an embodiment of Caymanian culture, and how that is the experience of multiple people and then speaking to more people. So particularly with the Cultural Foundation, when we took a couple plays to Carafesta, I then realized that this wasn't me just playing a part in a play anymore. This was me embodying the Caymanian cultural experience of a young boy coming of age, but then further taking that experience of the Caymanian people and taking that, well, internationally, taking it globally, and then presenting that culture, that experience that we all share on some level, to a much, much wider audience than we would have just had at, say, the Harquail.
Yeah, and also, you weren't just representing yourself as Aiden Watler. You were representing the young people of the Cayman Islands, and I think that's so amazing. So, Miss Watler, how was that for you? Seeing him up there on the stage and being involved in the culture and the arts.
I think it's something so important, and for Aiden, speech is one of his strong assets, and it's certainly not sports, and it's also team building. In a different way, and that's why I encouraged him with that, where he saw what his strong points were, and seeing him going there and just flourish, and the support of everyone in the community, and also coming from such a diverse place as Cayman. We're so multifaceted with cultures, and a lot of times people will come and say, well, where's the Caymanian culture? And to me, it's such a vital part of our community to be able to carry on those Cayman traditions. I thought it was important for him to be involved in that. So seeing that carry on in the upcoming generation was just such a vital part for me, that I really obviously did anything I could to support that, whether it is, of course, working backstage or, helping with ticket sales, whatever it took, being the chaperone for, I think it was like 13 children for Carifesta. I think it's really important to keep that culture alive. So
Yeah. Also, I feel like a lot of young people don't realize the importance that culture and the arts has on you. It can really definitely help shape who you are and how your mindset is, and just may help making a difference in a different community. And it can also change how you react and how you approach different situations. I feel like it's something that every young person should be involved in.
And would you agree that having Aiden participate in such activities has helped to develop him into the person that he is today?
Definitely. And being able to cope with different situations and knowing, even if you have a very small part, because he certainly did in the beginning, how whatever move you did impacted the rest of the play, no matter how small it was. And also knowing that you had to stay for the full rehearsal. And the rehearsal didn't mean because the show was 2 hours long, the rehearsal was 2 hours long. And, it meant going every day for several hours. And you had to be there even for that 10-minute part. But it showed the dedication that you had to put into it. And even when I went to pick him up, I knew all the lines. All of a sudden, the cast were asking me, how did I perform? I'm like, hold on, I'm not the director here. But it just shows, that consistency. And it helps you through every aspect of your life.
And I feel like anybody needs a very strong and supportive parent behind them, like that's who keeps you pushing when things get tough.
Yes, say that again for him, please.
So Aiden, do you think that you would be a different person if you hadn't gotten involved in the arts and culture?
100%. I mean, particularly in the last year when, I've gone abroad to university, you realize how important things like your culture are to your identity. And I remember living in Cayman, at times I might feel disconnected, or I might struggle to see how I fit into, all of this. But it's then when you're away, you realize how much of your identity is shaped by the community that has birthed you and brought you up. How much you are a sum of the people around you, and how much it is that those people made you into who you are.
That's really amazing.
How can other young Caymanians get involved in the Cultural Foundation or in some of the stuff that you're doing? How can they reach out? Who can they contact?
Right. So, I mean, the Cultural Foundation is always looking to provide opportunities, and they've actually gone through a change in management recently. So Dr. Matu, who has done amazing work for Caymanian culture, has recently retired. And so now they've got new management, which means there are going to be new projects, a new sort of creative second wind. And so what young Caymanians can do is just reach out and just ask. Because I find as Caymanians very often, we want to do things, or we think, hey, wouldn't that be great? But we keep these things in our heads. We don't just go for them. We don't chase them. And one of the, mantras I've adopted is, if not me, then who? And I think as Caymanians, we need to start asking ourselves that more regularly. If not me, then who? Yes, this would be nice, but I'm not going to hold myself back. I'm going to go for it. No buts, no self-doubt.
I really like that motto, and your mindset in general. I mean, you can definitely tell that you're a person that when you see something, you go for it. And that's amazing. And I feel like each one of us needs to adopt that, because that's how we'll be able to persevere and move on in order to get somewhere with our future. So right now, we're going to take a quick music break.
Here is our first music break, playing Sweetest Girl by Wyclef Jean.
Doesn't it feel like the year is zooming by? December will be here before you know it. Don't delay and book your holiday parties today so you can be sure you don't have any unwanted last-minute stress. With Mise en Place, booking early has the perks. Reserve catering for your event by August 31st and receive a complimentary welcome party drink package. Email events@catering.ky to book your year-end celebrations by August 31st and receive a complimentary welcome drink for all of your guests. Events@catering.ky. Mise en Place, bespoke catering for all your private and corporate event needs.
Radio K-Band Super Jam, brought to you by Michael Webster Life Insurance. Don't take chances with your family's future. Call Michael Webster at 925-5433 today.
K-Man, we sure know our way around the waters.
Cruising the North Sound, jet ski races, offshore fishing. Salt water runs through our veins.
But even with calm waters, propeller damage makes for rough seas. Keep your propeller rotating smooth with Superior Auto, offering full service propeller repair for boats and jet skis. Superior Auto, 525-9571 or 949-9570. Superior Auto, they keep your propeller spinning smooth.
I've got some beautiful clothes. I know just where they go. Puritan Cleaners.
Puritan Cleaners, now using the most popular and eco-friendly cleaning solvents. 2 convenient locations to serve you: Savannah Countryside and Eastern Avenue, Georgetown. Drive-through, rain or shine. Free pickup and delivery services available. Call Puritan Cleaners, 949-7104. Also ask about our in-house discounts. Puritan Cleaners, you feel good when you look good.
Puritan Cleaners, 949-7104. That's 949-7104. Radio K-Man Super Jam, brought to you by the Bellagio Salon and Spa in Cannon Place. Braids, nails, manicures, and pedicures. Get glammed up at the Bellagio. Call 943-5522 to book your Bellagio beauty journey today.
Early Bird gets the cheap tickets. Join us at Parker's Raceway July 30th and 31st with tickets starting as little as $10. Race on over to parkersraceway.com and get your Early Bird tickets before they sell out. Follow us on social media for more event details at Parker's Raceway. A big thanks to our sponsors, Monster, Valvoline, AI Rentals, Event Pro, VP Racing Fuels, Parker's, and NGK Spark Plugs. Get your tickets at parkersraceway.com.
Inaja Productions, in association with Cash Wiz K-Man, presents Cash Wiz K-Man Kids Got Talent Show.
At Pinnacle Warehouse, Sunday,
July 17. Start the summer right and come out. Support and cheer on our kids as they show off their God-given talent. Showtime 5 p.m. Tickets are available at Cash Wiz K-Man and at the gate. Admission only $15. Part proceeds go to Feed Our Future. So join us on July 17 and experience an evening of talent. K-Man Kids Got Talent is sponsored by Cash Wiz, CUC Health City,
Cayman National Bank,
People's Choice Groceries, LED Lighting Engineering and Design, KPMG, Seaport Marine,
General Automotive Services, Maxwell Plumbing Services, Party Animal, Breezy Production,
Radio K-Man, Breeze FM, and Inaja Productions.
This is Youth Flex, more than talk.
And we are still in studio with Proud of Them honoree Aiden Watler and his wonderful mom, Miss Sandra Watler. So let's dive into the academic portion. So what are you currently studying away at school?
So I'm in the U.S., West Coast. I'm at UC Berkeley. And so it's an American university, which means that they subscribe to this liberal arts education system. And the basis of that is that as a well-rounded student, you should really have familiarity with all the levels of study, right? And it's the idea that no one should have a college degree but lack basic numeracy skills or literacy skills or things like this. And so the consequence of that means that I have been able to explore numerous subjects in the 1 year that I've been there. So, in one semester, I'm doing subjects as diverse as, mathematics, astronomy, but also philosophy or French. And so that's been very, very interesting.
That's a good eye-opening experience for you as well, especially coming from such a small place as Cayman. I think that's a really good opportunity for you.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. I think it's very important, to study widely and to have a good understanding of how the world works through different lenses, for sure.
And I think that you mentioned you get the opportunity to experience different courses and stuff like that, and that's allowing you to develop yourself more professionally and like get an idea of maybe what you might want to do in the future. Do you have any idea of where you might be heading for the future, what you're looking forward to doing, or are you still like exploring?
Well, I'm still definitely in that early exploring phase. I've got another year before I have to declare, but, you know, I can say that I've been fascinated by the way that people and society work and interact with each other. You know, I mentioned that I feel like as an individual, you're almost nothing without the people that help to build you up and make you. And it's like, okay, well, how does this society function? What is it built upon, right? And so that really interests me.
That's really cool. So, Miss Sandra, what is it like having Aiden away at school?
Well, you know, it's so funny. Because he was going to the U.S., we had to send him off to get a visa. It was during COVID times, and you're just so busy trying to book and do everything, you didn't think about it. And then as you put him on the plane and you went home, and it was, we have a younger child, but the house was quiet, and so I took to bed. And so for the rest of the day, I was just in bed, and it hits you. You know, the good thing is, because of modern communication, we could FaceTime every day and keep in contact. You know, so that really helps. And then we track each other on the phone, so I can know where he is. Obviously,
we do?
He's out partying. Because if he's out partying or doing something, it's not like I can get to California while he's out doing something.
That's a good safety measure as well.
Yeah, you know, because as a mom, you're always, are you dead? He goes, yeah, you know. So we do that, or, you know, with a time difference, you know, he can call me at certain times, or I can call him. And also having one of his friends' phone number, because, for instance, one of the things, being in California, a very liberal state, he has to be boosted. You can't go to school unless you've had all these COVID shots. And having had COVID and going in, so one day I couldn't get him at all. And I was able to message one of his friends to find out what happened to him, knowing he was just very ill from that. So having those sort of feelers out to make sure everything's okay, because you do worry. It's just human nature.
Yeah, and it's also very new territory for you guys, you know, because he does have a younger brother at home, so this is your first time experiencing that with him going away and stuff.
So it'll be easy for the second one.
It will. With him. So, Aiden, what is it like? You're away at university now. How are you managing your time? Do you have any advice for students who might be listening and are about to go off to university?
Yeah, absolutely. So for students who are going off to university, you know, I would really encourage you to consider what you're about to embark upon. I mean, it's really an adventure. You're going to meet so many people that you've just never seen before growing up in Cayman. You're going to be exposed to so many things, whether that's academically in the classroom, extracurricularly, or even just totally removed from the school environment. And so, you know, you should really be looking to explore and tease these things out. There's just so much. It's a world of opportunities out there, and you really do have to maximize it. And now you make a point about time management. Of course, that's important because, I mean, one thing my parents wouldn't let me forget is you're over there to study, you know. I'm sure any Caymanian who's been to university will be able to relate to that. Yeah. But at the same time, there's a quote that says, don't let school get in the way of your education. I'm not saying to blow off school. I am saying that education comes from various sources. And when you're in a totally different environment, you need to seek out those sources. Yeah. You need to see how, you know, a different view of the world interact with people that are different to you. That has been very revelatory in the 1 year I've been away.
That's really cool. So before we close out our segment with you, I want to ask, you know, like when times get tough and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm out here all alone, you know, and you're going through those obstacles in your life, how do you persevere through that, you know, and not let anything hold you back?
Yeah, our theme is perseverance, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's crucial to understand yourself. And where does that come from? That can come from a relationship with God. That can come from, you know, meditations, just clearing your head, taking time if you want to take a walk in nature, stuff like this. For me, I journal, and that's been so helpful because it helps me to understand what I'm feeling. It also helps when, you know, things are built up in your head and it seems like the whole world is collapsing. When you just write it out, you see, no, this is a very contained problem. I can solve this.
It also helps you to see a different perspective.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you can then reread your own thoughts from a different perspective. And so that's it. You have to know yourself, and you can do that through so many different methods.
And also when mom sends some extra money.
Well, I think we just want to say thank you so much for taking the time out to come in and have a short interview with us. We really appreciate it. And thank you to you as well for accompanying him.
Well,
So,
thank you for having me is all I was going to say. I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's okay, no worries. So we'll have a quick music break now, and then afterwards we'll be joined by Proud of Them honoree Danica Lynn.
Here is our second music break playing I'm Alive by Baris Ahmed.
The Bellagio, where beauty is redefined. Bellagio Salon and Spa in Cannon Place, Cayman's hottest secret, the new name in luxury, beauty, and perfect for your purse, hair, nail, massages, and body scrubs. Enjoy the luxurious coffee coconut scrub and Swedish massage. Look and feel younger, rejuvenated. The new you. Bellagio Salon and Spa, where beauty is redefined. Call 324-9000 to book your beauty journey today.
Radio Cayman Super Jams, brought to you by the University of the West Indies. Find your place in the Cayman dream with the University of the West Indies Open Campus. Visit the University of the West Indies at open.ue.edu or call them at 946-8322.
Enough is enough is enough. 2 years living in fear, jumping through hoops, changing the way we live. Enough is enough is enough. Life can come at us fast. Things happen, usually without warning. But the future isn't laden with fear. It's filled with promise, with hope. You can still live fear-free. Cayman Insurance Center, protecting you and your family so you can take back your future. The sure way to protect your family. Call Michael Webster at 925-5433. Don't take chances with your family's future or your valuable assets. Call Michael Webster at 925-5433.
Radio Cayman Super Jams, brought to you by the Cayman Islands Football Association, CIFA, building a better future for Cayman football.
The Health Services Authority's new pharmacy is now open at the Smith Road Medical Center. The new location features a large, comfortable waiting area and ticketing system to improve the patient experience. All uncollected prescriptions and refill requests previously submitted will now be available for collection at the Smith Road Pharmacy. Request your refills online at hsa.ky via WhatsApp 925-6532 or call 244-2715. For more information about our pharmacy hours, visit hsa.ky.
For the month of July, the Needs Assessment Unit will hold their district visits as follows. Friday, 15th July, the Needs Assessment Unit will be in Bodentown from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Bodentown Public Library. And on Friday, 22nd July, NAU will hold a district visit in West Bay from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the West Bay Public Library.
This is Youth Flex, more than talk.
So welcome back. We are now in studio with Miss Danica Lim. So let's first dive into how did you get into track?
I have been doing track and field almost 10 years now. My mom was also a track and field athlete back in the days, so I picked up that sport from her. And also people in my family used to do track as well. I've realized that it was a sport that I love and something I can gain from it. Since then, I took the chance to ever join a track team, and from then, I am here today.
That's cool. When you joined track, was it like, oh, I found myself a family?
It was like that, but then, you know, it was probably only me that took up the sport.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, ever since I've known you, you've been doing track.
Yeah.
It's always been Danica, our fast girl. But how has track shaped you into the person you are today?
Track and field gave me a lot of opportunities. As a young adult, it has taught me to remain humble and stay positive as always. I have a quote saying, never a failure, always a lesson.
Yeah.
Everything in life is a lesson. So we got to take the chance to learn from it and not become a failure towards it. Track and field has also benefited me in many ways. Seeing that I have came from so far to where I am right now is a huge success.
Yeah. I mean, you really are an inspiration to so many others. And, you know, if someone had told you before all of this started that these opportunities and these experiences would have come from track, would you have believed them?
Yes, I received a lot of opportunities and experiences from people outside of Cayman, I should say, which I never expected it, because I didn't know I would have made it here today if it wasn't for track.
Yeah, and you've been able to go to so many different places. I know you've went away for Carifta a few times. You're also in the States now studying. What are some of the things that helps you to remain humble and remember who you are and your purpose?
Two things that helps me remain to stay humble is practicing mindfulness and being grateful for what I have. I have a purpose in life. That's why I am who I am today. I want to become that person, people who can look up to and have an example of what reality is about.
I think you have successfully done that job. I mean, just listening to you speak and reading your article online, I think you've definitely made an impact in so many other people's lives. And just hearing your story, like, oh my gosh, if she can do it, you know, I can definitely choose it. So it's very easy for us to get caught up in our own realities, you know. How do you keep self-aware and make sure that your mind and body are in check?
When engaging in self-aware, I make sure I give some thought to whether I'm thinking and feeling the same as I should. I tend to make sure my mind is telling me the same as my body reaction. Having this awareness gives me the opportunity and freedom to change things about myself and enabling me to create a life that I want.
You also mentioned that track has taught you so many things. How do you, for instance, when you're on the track and field racetrack, how do you deal with, are there any opportunities where you might not have won? How do you deal with that?
It's not really a bad thing to me. Like I said, everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
So it don't be a bother to me if I lose or not. Because at the end of the day, it's just one race. Like, I can't do anything else about it.
And being an athlete, going back to keeping your mind and body in check, I feel like you have to definitely put extra pressure on yourself to make sure that you're healthy mentally and physically.
Yeah.
What is that extra pressure like, in making sure it's all okay?
It makes me feel, sometimes I feel pressured throughout track and field because it's a sport that I love and I grew up in. So I don't really feel pressured like that. So it's not a big deal to me.
Okay, cool, I got you.
Yeah.
So we're gonna take another music break, and then when we come back, we'll dive in more about your academics.
Okay. Here is our third music break, playing Selfish Girl by Charlie XCX.
National phenomenon, a way of life.
In any land in the world, and he would never strike a ball more pure.
Football binds a community and can build a nation.
Ozil clips it in. Well back.
Better, faster, stronger, and united. From the pitch to the stands, to the field and the sands, we are united. We are Cayman Football. Radio Cayman Super Jams, brought to you by Mise en Plus. They've been catering Cayman's most memorable events for over 20 years.
Elevate, never settle, achieve what you desire.
Leave your past in the past. Unlock your future potential. The keys are at the University of the West Indies. From coding and smart app development, protocol, diplomacy, HR management, and conversational Spanish.
Your path to all you desire. starts at UWI.
The University of the West Indies Open Campus offers custom-built programs matching your current education level with the qualifications you need to find your place in the Cayman Dream. Visit the University of the West Indies at open.ue.edu or call them today at 946-8322.
Radio Cayman Super Jams, brought to you by Superior Auto. They will help you beat the summer heat with their air conditioning service and repairs. They keep your car in tune. Call 949-9570 or 525-9571.
Ransomware, DDoS, malware, phishing. If you don't know what those mean, you're not alone. But if you aren't protected against those cybersecurity attacks, then your business is at risk. Don't leave your data or your business vulnerable. Get Digicel Business Protect. Simpler, smarter cybersecurity. Visit our website, www.digicelbusiness.com, to request a callback or call us now on 623-2499.
Radio Cayman Super Jam, brought to you by Michael Webster Life Insurance. Don't take chances with your family's future. Call Michael Webster at 925-5433 today.
Commission for Standards in Public Life reminds all persons subject to the Standards in Public Life Act that declarations are due by 30th of July. If you're struggling to complete your annual declarations of interest, the Commission for Standards in Public Life has a new tutorial video available to provide further guidance. Visit Standards in Public Life Commission.ky/register of interest to view the tutorial video today.
Attention drivers, hurricane season is from June 1st to November 30th. Hurricanes don't plan ahead, but you can. Get prepared at Ace with batteries, flashlights, and generators. Power a small electric stove, charge your phones, or turn on some lights. Be prepared for hurricane season. Visit our store at 11 Ashko Street, Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
This is YouthFlex, more than talk.
Welcome back. So we are still in studio with Miss Danica Lynn. You good? Okay. So we're gonna dive into your academics now. So where are you right now? What are you studying?
I'm in Lincoln University of Missouri, Jefferson City. I'm currently studying business administration and criminal justice.
Cool. What has that been like? I know moving from the Caribbean to the States is a huge adjustment. What was that like, leaving such a small island and going to study something in such a big country?
It is very hard. One thing I can say to whoever wants to go overseas, like in the States or in the UK, is to just remain humble and stay positive as always, because you don't know what other people might think of you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I advise you guys to always study hard as well, because it is not easy.
So how did you choose your major, business admin in criminal justice?
I have been doing business since high school, so it was really like something that I wanted to learn more about. The criminal justice part, that's like something I wanted to do law from like high school days. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just study business admin and law, so I would be able to come out with something like. So right now I'm studying like corporate law, so it would be business and law together in one.
Yeah, that's really nice. And how do you balance being an athlete? I know that requires so much hours to be put in. How do you balance being an athlete and trying to study hard?
With being a student athlete, in order to balance both practice and schoolwork, I make sure to manage my time wisely and schedule ahead of time. There are times where I might feel like I'm not getting enough time to myself because it's just so much to do.
Yeah.
So I just balance myself.
Okay, and you're going into your last year, right?
Yeah.
So do you have any plans for afterwards? Anything set yet?
I plan to do my master's degree. I don't know where as yet, either here or up there. But once I've done 3 years of my master's of law, I would want to get into the workforce, like a law firm.
Yeah.
And get some experience and stuff. And if anything, then we move on.
Yeah. That's cool. And also, you mentioned that you were into law from time you were in high school. Was there like a particular moment where you're like, okay, this is something that I'm really interested in? What got you into law?
I would say, since it's like, how would I say this now?
I mean, you've always been good at arguing your perspective,
yeah,
and standing your ground. So I think law was a really good choice for you, regardless.
It's something that I love.
Someone that you face though.
No. Danika's just always been a really good person when it comes to having conversations and being able to see different perspectives and different point of views. So I could understand your interest in that. And I mean, I shared principles of business with you, so I knew what that was like. And Danika always had a passion for pursuing stuff in that. So I could definitely see you pursuing a career in the future in that. What do you think has been your biggest challenge as a student athlete?
My biggest challenge? I don't think I had ever experienced a big challenge. I'll just say, like, the work is very hard, especially with the field I'm studying right now. It takes a lot of practice and time.
So you're also an intern right now, right?
Yeah.
What are you doing there? Where are you?
I'm at the Cayman Island Post Office at the airport. I'm just helping, basically. I also do, like, I input, like, packages in the system and stuff and send them to customs and all, and that's about it.
Do you think that your time at university has helped to impact you and develop you into the person that you are today?
Yes, it did, because I've never experienced, like, what it's like to be at a university before, since this is my, like, first time.
Yeah.
I've been there for, like, 3 years now, so it really took some time for me to get to know my whereabouts and stuff.
And would you say there's, like, a culture difference, like having left here? Is there anything that you found particularly challenging moving to the States?
No, I would just say, since it's far from home, I kind of get homesick and stuff. So, and the temperature difference is nothing compared to down here. It is hotter up there.
Oh, really? I was thinking we were going to say it was cold.
It is also cold, but when it's
when it cold, it's hot.
Yeah, but when it's hot, it's hot.
So before you went away, were you at another school here, like UCCI?
I went to Cypher.
Okay,
before
cool.
That.
So then when you switched between, when you finished high school, right, and then transitioning into university, did you find, like, the schedule was better for you?
Yes, it did.
It had, like, it could work more with you being an athlete.
Well, the difference when I was down here, I used to get, like, time for myself and stuff.
Yeah.
So once I moved now, it has been very hard because we practice like every day a week. And on the weekends we go to track meets, different states and stuff. So we don't get time for ourselves unless,
like, you have school, then you have practice, then you have track meets.
How do you keep positive through all that?
You win.
What is your motivation behind it all, honestly?
I just, stay humble as I can.
Like, how do you find time to do your self-care, Like, how do you keep yourself, like...
No, but they have physio for your team and stuff, right?
No, but I mean, like she says she doesn't have time for herself, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so what keeps you grounded?
Yeah.
I'll say, like, sometimes when we don't have track meets, like, on the weekends, I'll just stay in and relax and stuff.
Yeah, have a good chill day.
Yeah.
What do you think there's anyone in your life that motivates you? I knew doing track can be such a hard thing, as well as you're managing university. Is there anyone that you think motivates you to continue to do what you're doing?
I'll say my grandmother and most of all my family as well. Also my coach, Tyrone Yan. He has been encouraging me since I was small, so getting to know.
And having all those people kind of ground you and provide you with support whenever you need.
Yeah.
And do you see yourself like continuing with track like after the next year?
I see that, bro. Go on.
Are we thinking about going professional? What are we thinking?
Are we thinking about leaving it in our teen years?
Can we get the inside scoop?
It's a hard decision to make. So I can't really tell you guys from right now because I'll have to think about it.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing it depends on how I feel.
Yeah.
So if I'm not feeling the sport any more since I did it for so long, then
yeah, I feel like you've definitely made a name for yourself there. You know,
no, but sports on the whole makes you feel great as a person, as an athlete. You feel awesome, unless you're injured, right? But and I think that was probably the toughest thing to give up. That feeling of that adrenaline and that rush, and you just feel powerful. You feel mighty. That's how I felt when I competed. And to give it up, it took like getting married. Okay, I got to get married and settling down and have a family, so I don't have time for playing all the games and stuff. But I was an athlete representing the country just like Danica, and it is tough to choose when to give it up. But if she has a different view for her life, it has to come at some point in time.
And I guess too.
But I would tell her, go until you can't go no more, girl. That's what I did. I went until I couldn't go no more, and then I said, okay, now I'm 25. I can go get married now. And
I guess through the competitive aspect of it also gets a bit draining sometimes.
Yeah.
No, but you feel good when you win.
Yeah.
Feel real good when you win.
But like, is there a difference from when you first started and you loved that sport and that was just your passion to now doing it competitively? Like, do you think it has changed a bit for you?
It did change. Like before I left, we didn't have no competition like that. So I was really like, you know what, it don't even make sense no more. So, but since I flew away now, it's a big difference. Like, I can't even.
You have.
It is too much.
Track meets twice a month.
She's going to nationals. She's going to track meets every Friday. Much. It's a lot.
And our season starts from January straight until May.
Wow.
So it's non-stop.
Yeah, I also feel like anything like sports or being a part of the arts and stuff like that, you know, once you're heavily involved in anything like that, and then once you remove it out of your life, it's like you lost your purpose. And then it takes you time to find a new purpose, or you may just find something that you like even better. You're like, I should have been doing this from a long time ago. So, Mr. Jama, you have anything else you'd like to say or add?
No, other than I want to try to big up everybody that doing camps, especially everybody in the fitness and more camp. I know that the young people there are having a blast. I got to hang out with them today, hence the t-shirt. And but we did kickball with them today, and it was really nice. It was hot, but it was good. And I didn't compete, so I was just running off my mouth and making sure that the youngsters had fun, and they really did.
So, Danica, we are in our season of perseverance. What keeps you going when times get tough and you feel like you want to give up?
I realize how far I have come, and also remembering where I came from. Whenever things are at my worst, my number one reason is to keep going and what can make me pull through it. For me to ever think about giving up would be a huge disgrace, but towards my family and supporters, but most of all towards me.
Yeah. Is there anyone you would like to shout out or just give some praises to?
Shout out to my family. I know they're home right now or doing something, but shout out to them. My uncle, Dwayne Seymour, my coach, Tyrone Yan, Eva Butter. I love y'all.
What about your peeps back in your track team in college? You're not shouting them out?
Okay, so
because we are global, we on YouTube, so
So I know I had a great time
I sure did.
having you on today.
Thank you.
And we're going to end our show there for today. So thank you all for joining us on Youth Flex. I am your host, Jessie, with my co-host, Ashley. A big shout out to our guest, Aiden Watler and his mom, and Danica Lynn.
Shout out to Radio Cayman for their work on the sound and boards, Mr. Will Sinatra, DJ Lynn, and DJ Silver Fox. Shout out to the YouTube live feed, and also special shout out to our Youth Flex crew. Jared Miles, our Youth Flex socials and community service. Okizi, our musical director. Soraya Ramjeet, the Youth Flex news desk. Mikhail McLaughlin, the promo director. And the 100+ Flex family all over the globe.
Thank you to SIFA, Cayman Insurance Center, UE Open Campus, and Mosquito Solutions for sponsoring the Super Jam, and to you, our listeners, for tuning in every Wednesday from 4 to 5 for Youth Flex on 89.9 FM. Join us again next Wednesday for Youth Flex's Season of Perseverance. Until next time, this is your host, Jessie Hurlston Watler, reminding you to make a difference.
Enjoy the Maxi Freeze. Camps next week.